Now, if you go for the inauguration of a factory which is making weapons for terrorists, which is who are killing thousands of innocent human beings, is much better than going for the inauguration of a temple or going for inauguration of a church. Because that, can you work for a company which is building a temple? It is like you asking me that, can I work for a company which is producing alcohol, which you know is a major sin? Or you ask me the question, can I work for a company which is producing cocaine and marijuana and brown sugar and drugs, which is going to kill thousands of people? Now, when you work for a company dealing in alcohol or drug, it's a major sin. But working for a company building a temple is a much graver sin. Because as we all know, that shirk is the biggest sin in Islam. So, in no way can you work for a company or help in the building of a place of worship which is involving shirk. Place of worship of the other religions besides Islam, like building a temple or building a church, it is haram. It's a grave major sin, and surely you'll be held accountable. So surely I would advise you that you should not take up this job. You can take any other job which is halal, but this job is surely haram. And unfortunately, you find today that there are many Muslim politicians in many parts of the world who love to go for the inauguration of the temple and mandir, or go for inauguration of churches to show that they're secular, to show that they are very tolerant. In no way, if you go for the inauguration of a temple or a church, makes you tolerant. It is nothing but you are helping one another in sin and shirk, which is the gravest sin in Islam. Imagine a Muslim politician going to a factory which is making weapons for the terrorists. Now, if you go for the inauguration of a factory which is making weapons for terrorists, which is who are killing thousands of innocent human beings, is much better than going for the inauguration of a temple or going for inauguration of a church. So I do agree with you that you should not take up this job. You can search for a better job, and surely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, your risk is confirmed. Allah has already written down the risk 50,000 years before the creation of the heavens and the earth. So your risk is confirmed. You will not get 1 dirham more or 1 dirham less. Allah is checking you that if Allah gives you risk through a major sin, will you take it or not? Will you take up the job or not? Allah is testing you. So for you, the best would be to reject this job.
Your risk is written for you 50,000 years before you were born. Well, Muhammad's provision was use the money his first wife made it. Khadija, businesswoman, Muhammad just used her money. Anyway, so we all heard what is the moral lesson we learned from this. It is better to work for a weapon company which makes weapons for the terrorists, and those terrorists kills innocent people, than work in construction business. Yep, it is better to work for a company making weapons for terrorists than work for construction business. Very dangerous statements. But now we can easily guess. So it is where Hamas is getting all those guns, where those lovely jihadis are getting their weapons, because certain Muslims are encouraged to work for the company especially makes weapon for the terrorists, so that people can continue to terrorize the innocent people. Great advice from Muslim scholar Zakir Naik. Those who live by sword will die by sword.